distinguished personality who has been a guiding force in the realm of education. Please join me in welcoming our CEO, Dr. Harish, to address the audience.
A very good evening to each one of you, respected school leadership principal, other school leadership team, dear parents, teachers, and my dear students. It's a pleasure meeting you all and sharing a few thoughts. Usually, our annual day used to be a production. When we started the school down the line, 2008, we started with The Lion King. And as we move on, we displayed Sound of Music, Wizard of Oz, world-class productions. And at some point of time, we started realizing that it is going to be very exhaustive to have every year production. So we decided an alternative mode that one year it's going to be carnival and the alternative years this is going to be production. So last year it was carnival. And this year it is supposed to be a production. But then we started reviewing it, school leadership, and we all sat together and we made it into two parts. The first part is a production. And yesterday we had a wonderful show, Moana, the latest Disney movie. Our little one, LKG, UKG, first and second, beautifully depicted a 1.5 hour show yesterday. It was an amazingly good piece of work. And when we thought about the seniors, we had a kind of confusion that if we go for a production and a prolonged distraction from academic is going to cost them very much, because ever since COVID came, we all know that there is a huge learning gap happened. A huge learning gap. And moreover, the attention span is drastically shrunk. And it's actually a challenging for most of the students to bring back that academic rigor. Amidst of all these issues, we thought it would be nice to go for a limited edition version. So we decided to not to spend much of a time for practice. So those students who volunteered, who already practiced individually, we decided to showcase their talent, and also we invited our parents to come and partner with us. Now why parents? That's also, there is a reason for why we wanted parents to come and showcase their talent. Our kids wanted to know that you also have talent. They think parents are not talented, parents are outdated. It's high time that we need to showcase our talents to our kids, and they needed to revisit their own perception nowadays. Because every time when you think about a parent, that's the normal version of it's a generation gap. So I want all of you, if you have a talent, to come and, if not today, in the future also, we need to have a platform so that the student will start acknowledging it and admiring their parents. This is what the whole story is all about today. So it's not a carnival in full size. It is not an annual day in full size. It's a mix, a very limited edition version. Another important aspect why I wanted to bring the academic rigor back is, I have noticed, it's a factor across the globe, that kids have, like what I said before, the attention span has drastically reduced. When COVID came, we pushed them to digital gadget. And as they were being pulled into it, what happened is they became more or less addicted to social media. And recently, there is a book released by Nandan Nilekani, one of the Infosys founder. The name of the book is called The Art of Bitfulness. It's an amazingly good book. What he's saying is that in India, average teenager is swiping nearly 2,400 times average. 2,400. So how this is affecting the attention span? What they're saying is, what he explained it in a very, very simple mode, that every time you think about something, the brain has to take all the files of that particular thing. Assume that you're thinking about a traffic jam in Wayanad Gut. You collect all the information that you have about Wayanad Gut. The next time you're talking about Joe Biden, and then you are talking about everything about America. So what happens is the brain has to shut down the previous file and open the new file. So as you swipe every time, It is called context shifting, and the brain needs to keep on closing the file and opening the new file every 1 second. And gradually what happened, the brain is conditioned for it. The brain become hyperactive. They cannot focus on one thing. So their attention span is 40 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes. You give a page to read, they don't read, because for them the 40 minutes reel is more, 40-second reel is more comfortable. So this less attention span actually affected their academic internalization. And we discuss academicians, we normally go for conference and all, we discuss that a serious issue and nobody has a solution also. What we recommend is either you go for a meditation or you need to start reading the books back. But unfortunately, they are not serious readers. Of course, there are exceptions. So this is the reason why we don't want to go for a full-scale annual day this time. I also wanted to mention one more point about a transition that are happening in education, then I'll stop. As you know, NEP is coming. As you know, the education across the globe is moving to a new direction. It is very simple. 30, 40 years back when the internet came into being, 30 years back, internet came into being, it was one of the biggest revolution in human history, because 600 years back when we invented the printing, the knowledge became stackable and the knowledge became centralized. Education became centralized. Education became standardized. We call it as 10 standard, 12 standard, degree. These all are standardized version of education. But when the internet came into being, the knowledge became so much floating. You will get any content anywhere, any moment. Yesterday I was talking to the parents. I asked them, how many of you remember by heart 10 phone numbers now? I haven't got anybody who raised the hand, because we don't keep the telephone number in our brain. We don't need to, because it is not, our brain is no more a repository of information. It is converted as a processor of information. This shift will affect education also. The education was all about memory based and information centered. Memory centered and information based. Now it is the content. NEP very clearly says one statement: we need to reduce the content of education. Because whether it is NEP, whether it is Cambridge University, they say education has to be shifted from content to skill and competencies. When I say skill, I'm not telling that the marks are not important, but marks are not alone going to take them into a higher position. There are a lot of skill set required. They need academic skills. Academic skill include research skill, the ability to articulate, the ability to present, the ability for critical thinking, the ability for collaborating. These all are the skills that we need to build from the school. These all are very, very critical. Recently, I happened to read an article, a Blue Ribbon School, normally the high-end school in USA called Blue Ribbon School in Seattle. They send 50 teachers, they send a group of their teachers to 50 CEOs in the world of the top companies. And they ask the CEOs, you people are driving the world, what should we teach our kids? Because today's LKG student is going to be in the job market in 2045. And we don't know what kind of world they are going to inherit. We don't know what kind of world in 2030 is going to be. So what should we teach them? And these CEOs collectively said 3 points. The first point is you teach them competencies. What are they? It includes leadership, it includes networking, it includes problem solving, and etc. This is what we need to teach from school, not content. And you need to build the mindset. Second point, what they emphasized is mindset. Because winning is a mindset. Losing also is a mindset. Inclusion is a mindset. Service is a mindset. Global is a mindset. How do you build the right kind of mindset in school? This is going to be the future of the school, or this is going to be the expectation or deliverable of school. Definitely in the next 10 years' time. And the last point, what they said is, you give them right perceptions. Because when a child is doing Googling, he'll get 2,000 answers for one question. Which answer he picks up is going to be completely based on his perception. So you give them right perception. That is what Cambridge University came up with, a curriculum called Global Perspective. So this is where our education is going to be moving forward. And CBSE already introduced something called HPC, Holistic Progress Card. CBSE say progress card should not be based on performance. There is nothing called performance-based progress card. the progress card should mention progress. How far the child is progressing, not the performance. They also emphasized around 6 variables are supposed to be monitored: social and emotional learning, extracurricular activities, physical well-being. It goes on. So in the next few years, maybe 1 or 2 years, our progress card will be changing. Definitely. You don't get the marks which is going to be so highlighted. Instead of that, you will see how your child is being grown up, how the child is going to be kind of taking a personality. This is what education is going to be all about. What I wanted to underline here is that the whole process is not going to be exclusively from school. This is totally based on the partnership between school and parents. So when a parent is sitting on the other side and judging the school, nothing is going to happen positively. Instead of that, what I would honestly, humbly request you is that whenever you notice any feedback, anything not going right, please inform us. Because the school leadership may not know what is actually happening at the bottom line. When we get a feedback, we will be able to look into it. Unless we don't get a feedback, no school will become a great place to learn. So please, I request positively that if you feel that something is not going right in Sadhbhavana, please inform us. We don't defend. We'll try our level best to correct it, and we'll keep you posted. These are all the points that I want to tell you. So dear parents, as you said, we made it up so quickly. We don't want to have our students to spend a long practicing hours. So even if something goes wrong, it's okay. Let us accept those imperfections and let us enjoy this evening. Thank you so much.